Hey everyone, how are you? Today is a good day, another good day. It's the Thursday before a big long weekend for Easter holiday, and I've got a great friend, old mate, interesting cat, been around everywhere, pops up everywhere. Oh, I say he's a great mate. I don't really know him, but I do. I've seen him 100 million times. He kind of knows everyone I know, but I'm going to find out a lot more about him today, that's for sure. Because I see him doing all kinds of crazy stuff. He's delivering the most famous bands to stages. He's running the online stuff for Summernats, big tattoo shops. He has his hands in so many different things. Anyway, introducing to you, Leigh Kelly. Are you there, boys? Oh, hey Leigh, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Drew. How's things?
Very good, you're here. What's going on, Tiger? Hey, did you hear yesterday that Kelly Slater did April Fool's Day joke?
Really?
Because they're in Bells Beach right now.
Yeah, they are.
Actually, that was the last time I saw you, was at the Quickie Pro 1 year ago. And you were delivering some band to a stage, but I won't tell you that right now.
Yeah, righto, we'll get into that.
Yeah, but so Kelly Slater, apparently his first world tour event was at Bells Beach years and years and years ago.
Yep.
So yesterday he woke up and got on Twitter and to his million fans and said, hey everyone, I figured that because I started at Bells, I'll finish at Bells. So I'm just announcing now to all my sponsors, it's been great, but I'm quitting after this year. And
good riddance, I say. Oh, I've said it. I've said it.
But it was all an April Fool's joke.
Oh, bugger.
Why? He's all right.
Can I say? Yeah, no, I won't go into it because it'll probably upset a lot of people. But never been a Kelly fan.
Nah, personal thing.
Coolie kids all the way, mate.
Yeah, of course.
What do you do?
Yeah, okay. Well, I heard he just bought a place at Jefferson Lane, Palm Beach. He's got one at Tugan. I saw him pushing a trolley there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll have to find out where that is.
Really? Take a turn on his
just go and sit on his PK. Just sit there. Just eyeball him.
Do you still
yeah, go. I've seen him in the water at Burleigh and Avalon on the northern beaches in Sydney and stuff, and yeah, he rips and stuff. It's just yeah, I've always been one of those dudes true to the core, you know, and yeah, if it's not Australian, I'm not really interested, to be honest. I don't care how many world titles you've won. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I won't get started on judging or any of that because it's a long ramble, that one.
Have you been? Who was that band you were delivering back then? It was like an old school surf band. Do you still deliver bands around?
Jimmy Buffett was the band at the time. That was a pretty funny gig, actually. I got to work it with my mate Bernie, and yeah, we got this late call, you know. Oh, they need someone to go and pick up these guys from their private jet and take them to a private gig on Snapper Beach. And I was like, wow, you know, there's, righto, we're in. And, yeah, it turns out it was Jimmy Buffett, you know, and the dude is a legend, you know, like I'd never heard of him, but apparently in Las Vegas and that, you know, he commands the big dollars, and, you know, it was cool just hanging out with some old rock and roll dudes, you know, like he doesn't wear shoes anywhere, but he's worth multi-millions, you know. Yeah, it was cool, you know, like I think he bought into half of one of the hotel chains while he was here and a little bit of the ASP. Wow. And I think he also ordered his new Learjet that was worth like $45 million or something. And we did a little bit of research on him, and he's worth, you know, it was tens of millions of dollars a week. Oh, no. From recording material to his restaurants to touring and all the rest of his business ventures. He was just this big cash machine, but he was a super cool dude.
You know what I reckon would be funny? Because you're involved in so many businesses, right? And from what I know of business is that, oh man, what a stress. So imagine having a whole bunch of big interests. Oh. How do you not focus on if someone's ripping you off? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? How does a guy go, yeah, I'm involved in this hotel, woohoo, I take all that, and I'm buying a helicopter over here. Hang on a minute, some dude over there is just pinching, how do you not micromanage right into that small little thing? I reckon it'd be hard.
Yeah, I think that comes back to faith in the human race. I mean, especially on the Goldie, there's probably not a lot of examples of it, but I like to kind of think that, once you get to a point of being that mega rich, do you really care? I'm sure everybody goes through that as they, succeed in life and get more and more, but it'd have to get to a point where you're just like, not another one. Can I be asked stressing about it?
Yeah.
I mean, that was one thing I learnt early on in business, rather, was just that sometimes it's just better off to write those people off out of your life because they owe you money than it was to keep doing business with them, So, and that's a tough one, especially if you don't have any money at the time, which, I've been at the bottom plenty of times. But, I've definitely learned to deal with it a lot differently these days.
Yeah. Me too, man.
And I'm hoping, guys like Jimmy Buffett that are worth millions and millions would one day go, that dude's all right, I'll
throw him a few. Well,
Excuse me.
I know a guy who's a limo driver at the casino.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got this French accent, right?
Yep.
And so they give him all the best jobs because he's, he has the
Has that
French accent
international
and he
feel.
dresses well. And he's but he tells me of stories about picking up this same Chinese guy every week who needs to be taken from South Sunnybank to the casino. And he just...
Sunnybank to the casino.
Yeah, and he has to wait for him outside. It's pretty much the same every Thursday or something, but he just throws him a couple hundred,
Just
it's
a couple of sneakies.
You're my man, don't say a word, boom,
Well,
and here I am, I just blew it. Hope this doesn't get changed into Chinese one day and the whole deal is done.
I have had a cool story like that. It was Bon Jovi's Richie Sambora. Got to drive for him maybe a year or two ago now. I don't know. My memory serves me, but I drove for him for like 4 or 5 days, and did all the touristy stuff, and they had side shows and played a big festival and all that. And as I was going to take him to the last airport run, sort of thing, he's jammed me in the back with this $100 US bill, and I'm like, no, it's all right, man. I've made plenty of money and I've had a really good time,
Cool.
Like, if the client's really cool, you work all week and you don't care, And, so he's like, I've said no the first time and the second time. And then on the third time, right before we got to the airport, he's like, no, I insist. And I was like, well, if you do, there it goes. 3 times is enough, But, it must be nice to work in an industry where it's just kosher to flick a couple here and there,
Oh, yeah. Like, seriously. He must have a mountain of... I mean, look,
he looked to be having a good time,
Yeah.
He was hanging out with his mate Richard Wilkins on the Sydney Harbour, on the big yacht, having a fat time, so...
Have you seen that documentary about Bon Jovi recently?
No.
It's a really good one. I'm not even a huge fan or anything, but I respect them all.
Yep.
But it's a really good documentary because it shows the loneliness of this Bon Jovi guy.
Oh.
And Richie Sambora is always saying, look, man, I'm just the guitarist in his band. Since day one, he said he wanted to be in his name, and my entire job is to play guitar, but I just want to make the boss happy almost every day because he'll do and they show this in this documentary well, he'd do a set, or they do a set in front of 80,000 people in, I don't know, Washington, let's pretend.
Yep.
That as soon as they finish the encore, Bon Jovi goes straight out into his van with his driver, and he's got his manager, Bon Jovi, and the driver, and they drive straight to the hotel, and then he sits there alone and watches late-night TV because he gave up drinking and partying. He's got kids at home, and just showed he went from 80,000 people to being alone, and the saddest... And he was actually... it just seemed really like, I mean, obviously it's fun, but once the partying days are gone and all that sort of stuff... What do you do? Especially with Facebook now, man. You can't do nothing about it anymore. Yeah?
Or you do and you just accept it,
Yeah, but then you're relying on the driver to be good, slipping him hundreds.
Well, yeah, that's it, eh? No, it's not really a done thing to tell secrets from backstage and stuff, but, very rarely do you actually see true rock stars anymore. It is definitely becoming more of that business where, that they fly in, they've got a couple of hours to recoup from the flight. maybe a dinner or something, and then the show or a side show, and then you're up the next day. You've got sound check, press, all that sort of stuff. Another show at the festival. You might party a little bit that night. The next day, you're on the airplane to the next gig, and it really is a machine, you know. And the more you see it, and the more you're involved with it, it just becomes just like any other job, I suppose, you know.
Just a meeting. And if you show up pissed to that meeting, you know, there's not only is there photos that would make even bigger stories than your actual act.
So, that's it, you know.
How many times have you seen, you know, the old AC/DC stuff where they're drunk, clearly
drinking
drunk
on stage?
Yeah, but they're doing like a countdown and everyone's drinking it, and you kind of look a bit shitty. You know what I mean? Doesn't? You know what I mean? Not.
But isn't
cool.
that the essence of being a rock star? You know, you do what you please.
Oh yeah. But imagine it now. They'd be like, oh yeah, AC/DC was just here, and then there was a whole other article on the side about how drunk they were and that he pissed in the garden. And
yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. You still see a bit of shenanigans backstage. I mean, big festivals. There's always one band that's having a better time than everybody else. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, if you love music, you love music, and you know, I think that's what you're there for. I mean, I feel sorry for some of them. Yeah, that's how I see it some days. And other times you're just like, wow. That'd be amazing, you know.
Yeah. What's how about this is small potatoes compared to what you did, but for a year there, I transported the Coolie Rocks on cats around, and because I've been a musician, I really love the job for a start. But it sounds like you do too. You take it really personal. You've got to, you know, want to get everything done right. You want to get them there, and whatever they want, make sure their show goes well. You know what I mean? You want to be involved in the fact that everything went cool to make them rock out the best. Yeah,
I mean, we're such a small part of what they do, but if we don't do our job right, then they're upside down, you know? Like Marilyn Manson's probably the latest one that I've had where he came down with his tour manager, his minder, and as we all shut our doors, we were to be pulling away. You know, it was quite right, he's in the elevator, right, we're coming out the foyer, right, we're in, doors locked, we're away, you know? And for some guys, I think that must be a little bit nervy too, you know? Not everybody deals with that well. So, yeah, you know.
It'd be hard. Was that, I saw him at Soundwave.
That was what I did for Soundwave this year, so.
Well, man,
it was pretty good. I didn't mind it at all.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that.
I thought
What, Slipknot played at the same time as Smashing Pumpkins. And Manson wanted to go and see Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh no, because I saw Slipknot.
Oh God damn it!
Slipknot was so good. They really changed my. I didn't even have an opinion on Slipknot but I saw them for the first time in the mosh.
Oh, so you've never seen them before?
No,
it's an amazing show.
I think I was somewhere else in the room. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I was dead front, and I couldn't take my eyes off them, man.
Yep.
To me, they were like they've had this show going for 10 or whatever years, and it was perfected.
Oh,
and, and these big HD screens they have now, these festivals, it was just so, man, this devil head and flames. And when the dudes drop the guitar picks, they don't just pick them up like people. It's just you walk off like a robot in a way. Like, it was just so gnarly in every way, man.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man, that you saw that for the first time. Having said, I mean, you know, one of the other benefits of the job was, you know, I got to be side of stage when Ministry played back in Australia for the first time in 20 years. Wow. I managed to be side of stage. A mate of mine was tour managing locally for him and stuff. And, I got a really good vantage spot for that. But Fear Factory, other mates of mine, played the set before him on the same stage as the sun went down at Soundwave this year. And, yeah, like, I definitely count that as probably, you know, easy inside my top 10, top 20 gigs of the time, all time, you know, and for me to say that's some pretty solid gigs, you know, so, no, it was good.
Yeah, you know what happened to me at Soundwave is that, for whatever reason, man, maybe because I have been in bands, you think of yourself as a musician, so you don't often go, I don't know. I know a lot of people that just don't like to be in the crowd. It's like and you sort of you know what I mean, you're constantly thinking about I don't even got to be a wanker like that, but you know what I'm saying. For this one I was right into it, and I found myself watching Slash just before Slipknot went on.
And
I've always been a metal fan, but I've always been an AC/DC fan.
Yep.
I found myself going, oh man, just Slash seems like 50 years ago. It's like the way the drum